For adolescents blessed with willowy good looks, the fashion world offers the prospect of glamour, celebrity, and wealth. This, for many, is what the beginning of a modeling career can actually look like. On her first test shoot as a 15-year-old, Dasha Alexander said, a photographer held a camera in one hand and digitally penetrated her with his other, a move, he explained, that would make the pictures more raw and sensual. When Coco Rocha refused to get naked on set as a 16-year-old, she said, the photographer replaced her with a girl who was younger and more obedient. Months later, a famous photographer simulated an orgasm as he took Rocha's picture. Bethany Mollenkopf for the Boston Globe actress and model Abby Lee Below was a teenager. By the time Lenka Chubukleva was 17, she said, an agent had repeatedly groped her, a photographer had thrown her on a bed and kissed her, and another photographer had masturbated in front of her and threatened to ruin her family in Ukraine if she told anyone. If people really understood what goes on behind the glamour of the industry, they would be mortified, said Abby Lee, an Australian model who, despite having been fondled on sets, describes herself as one of the lucky ones. Photo by Patrick Revere, Getty Images emboldened by the Some are seeking to expose serial predators and those who enable them. Others are demanding new legal protections and calling for radical reform of a youth-obsessed industry they say has left them feeling exploited, treated like meat and clothes hangers, and, in the words of one model, pimped out by their agents. Collectively, these models, predominantly females, although also males, made credible allegations of sexual misconduct against at least 25 photographers, agents, stylists, casting directors, and other industry professionals. In many instances, Spotlight reporters verified the accounts with third parties or examined records such as emails. Some of the alleged victims were willing to talk publicly, but others spoke on condition of anonymity because they still work in fashion and fear reprisal. The Globe does not identify alleged victims of sexual misconduct without their consent. The accused men include some of the most well-known power brokers in the multi-billion-dollar fashion industry and were often named by multiple women, in one case, 7, for alleged sexual misconduct. Among them, Patrick de Marchelier, who was Princess Diana's personal photographer, David Bellemere, whose photos have appeared on the covers of Elle and Marie Claire Italy, and Greg Cato, who has shot for mega brands like Victoria's Secret and Vogue. Models also identified photographers Andre Passos and Seth Sable, who often did test shoots that models usually pay for themselves to build their portfolios, and Carl Templier, who, as one of the world's most powerful stylists, has worked with Coach, Zara, and Tommy Hilfiger. Get fast forward in your inbox. Forget yesterday's news. Get what you need today in this early morning email. Thank you for signing up. Sign up for more newsletters here. All of the accused men denied the allegations against them, and many complained that they can't fully defend themselves when the Globe protects the identities of alleged victims, including by not always disclosing names, dates, and locations to them. One photographer insisted some sexual encounters were consensual, and others said models may have misunderstood the touching and positioning that can be part of their jobs. But models say these are merely justifications for widespread abuses that have been part of the business for decades. After Globe inquiries last week, Condé Nast, a media conglomerate that includes Vogue, Glamour, and GQ, said it has stopped working for now with de Marchelier and Cato, and Victoria's Secret said it has suspended its relationship with Cato. The fashion world, according to industry veterans, is rife with sexual misconduct for reasons built into the business. Models are usually minors when they enter the field, a highly sexualized adult world with little supervision and no job protections. Many Hollywood actresses, who helped start Last Falls, and the very nature of models' work involves the marketing of seduction. At times, they are asked to dramatize sexual behavior they may not yet have experienced in real life. They regularly undress in front of colleagues and often appear scantily clad, sometimes with no clothes at all, to sell everything from watches to lingerie. It is an industry, the models told the Spotlight team, where the sexual and financial exploitation of teenagers is almost routine. Nearly 60% of models interviewed by the Globe said they had been touched inappropriately during work-related situations, the violations ranging from unwanted kissing to rape. Yet, for decades, victims of sexual misconduct in the fashion world have struggled to be heard and taken seriously. Modeling, they say, may be work that accentuates